Got all the stuff on because I just finished recording my podcast. Still have my green screen up from when I'm teaching. So because of that, I can do this. How's that? Yeah, it looks a little cheesy, right? Let's try this one. That's better. Thanks for joining me. I just finished recording a podcast, Street Shots Podcast, and I realized while I was doing it that I could make a video version of this part of it. I'm reading an essay from my Unusual Collective website, and I thought, well, why don't I just put up the images and do a slideshow with the essay that I'm reading? So here it is. It's quick. It's enjoyable, I think, and I hope you like the pictures. And let me know down in the comments whether you want me to do more of these, and we'll see what we can do. But maybe I'll change the background again before we go. I don't know if that's good. Anyway, enjoy it. I was born and raised in New York City. I grew up amongst the skyscraper valleys, the grimy streets, and the rushing crowds. The noise, the crowds, the dirt, and oh, the light. Ever since I was a kid, I noticed the light in the city. There are times when the light totally transforms the city into something ethereal. Sunny days in the autumn and winter make for long, sharp shadows and light bouncing around and reflecting off anything made of glass. Weird reflections and slivers of sun cut through the streets, illuminated shafts of brightness, surrounded by intense shadows. During the summer, the hazy light tricks eyes into thinking buildings are farther away and much larger than they really are. When thunderstorms roll in, the soft incidental light bouncing off the tall storm clouds gives an ethereal, almost otherworldly look to everything on the street. I grew up marveling at the city of light. It's possible because of where and how I grew up, I was destined to become some kind of visual artist. As a kid, my mom used to take me to the many museums and galleries New York is so well known for. Going to photography shows with her was a common outing. W. Eugene Smith, Irving Penn, Dwayne Michaels, Gordon Parks, Bernice Abbott, Robert Mapplethorpe, just to name a few. Growing up without the internet meant the only way I could see a photographer's work was in books or museums or galleries. I was able to spend a lot of time with a small number of very good photographers. On the other hand, if a photographer didn't have a published book or a story in a magazine or a show somewhere, I didn't easily get to see their work. I was particularly drawn to photographers who shot in New York City. Why? Because it was my home, of course. I love to go to some of the same locations where these artists set up their cameras and see for myself how much the city had changed and how much it stayed the same. I would walk around and say to myself, oh, Eugene Smith shot this street, or Bernice Abbott stood here and shot that building. I was so steeped in these photographers' work, their images became part of what I'd like to call my photo DNA. Because I've seen their images over and over again, I often evoke their work when I spot something I want to photograph. This doesn't mean I copy their work, but I try to ask myself, is this what they might have been thinking about? Is this the feeling they were trying to capture? Photo DNA works in the background. It's a jumble of imagery that floats around in the back of my mind. And when everything is aligned just right, it manifests itself when I want to take a photograph and even when I process a photograph. It's not something I'm aware of when it's happening. Having this library of images in my head certainly influenced what and how I photograph. How could it not? We're flooded with imagery today. You scroll through Instagram or Flickr on a daily basis, seeing hundreds, if not thousands of photographs. This doesn't count all the photos you see by just living your life in magazines, on bus stops, in your email, etc. Your memory retains a vast majority of these images you see daily. In fact, you only need to see an image for a fraction of a second for it to impress itself onto your brain. This image bank you have in your head influences you in how you make your photos. I'm not saying it's necessarily a direct influence and that you copy images you remember. What happens is you may take a piece from this image in your memory and take a piece from that image in your memory and end up creating something that's uniquely your own. Photo DNA builds up in us over the years. All those images you're bombarded with daily, do you know what happens to them? They're stored away and mashed up into your visual subconscious. They talk to you when you put the camera to your eye. I know they talk to me, whispering just quietly enough to guide me towards the images I make. It might sound like I'm saying that there's nothing original in what we create. No, it's not like that at all. Everything we make is a unique creation because we make it. Am I influenced by all the imagery I've seen over the years? Absolutely. Smith, Penn, Abbott, Instagram, Flickr, Nike ads. They've all had some part of my creative process. For some, the barrage of visual stimuli can be an annoyance. To me, it's a valuable part of building my unique visual voice. With the camera to my eye, I remember and I see. If you've enjoyed what I made for you here today, please make sure and hit that like button down below. Also, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content from me in the future and get notified when I put up a new video. Thanks for watching and have a great day.